A lot of leather projects are useful, like a belt, wallet, or tote bag. And others, I would say, have below average utility, but I think those are still important to make, and I'll explain why throughout this video. And the answer isn't just because there's a free pattern, which there is. So what is my not so useful project for today? I'm making a leather desktop notebook holder designed to hold these legal pads. I use these notebooks just about every day, but I just can't stop losing my pen, is what I would say if I were trying to convince you that this pattern was gonna change your life. But I'll be the first to admit, it's kind of pointless, but it's fun to make. The PDF has 3 patterns for 3 sizes of notebooks, 8.5 by 11, 5 by 8, and 4 by 6. Each pattern is made of 2 pages, so you'll need to cut along the guidelines and tape them together. Once I do that, I like to glue them to poster board and then cut them out to the final shape so I have a traceable template. I think most leather workers have an inclination towards things that are well made, thoughtfully designed, and have a long history. And recently, I found that fountain pens check a lot of those boxes. But they tend to be larger than your average ballpoint pen, so the pen loop on this pattern is designed with that in mind. Because I'm assuming there's other nerds out there who want a custom fitting pen loop to hold the pen that they probably spent too much money on. If you plan on using something classic like a Pilot G2, shorten the pen loop by removing this section of the pattern. It's the purple one here. If you use something really skinny like a mechanical pencil, remove the other pink section as well to shrink that pen loop and make it a more snug fit. Once you choose what size you want to make and you've modified the pattern for your pen, you can trace and cut the leather. I'd recommend a 4 to 5 ounce leather with a medium to firm temper. You want something that'll give the writing pad some structure and help the pen loop keep its shape, but you don't need to go overboard. If you do use a thicker leather, keep in mind that the thickness of the leather will shrink the pen loop slightly. I'm using our 4 to 5 ounce veg tan in the chocolate color. I chose this because it has a finished backside which will reduce friction as I slide my notebooks and pens in and out. I also think the uniform semi-aniline finish looks classy compared to something more rustic like a pull-up leather. I can't have this looking out of place in my executive corner office. You can make 2 of the small or medium-sized holders from one 12 by 24 inch panel, but you'll need 2 panels or a larger cut of leather like a shoulder or a side to make the large one. It's the only one made from 2 pieces because a one-piece design would require a long, awkward piece, and I wanted to give you some flexibility as you cut out the pieces to reduce waste. It was really helpful to have this 9/32 inch or 7.5 millimeter radius punch. I made the pattern so that every curved part is made using this tool. This speeds up the cutting process and also helps all the curved edges match up perfectly when I fold this in half. I'll wait to punch the radii at the bottom until I have both of the layers together though. The large pattern doesn't get folded in half since it's made of 2 pieces. The first piece is what's shown on the pattern, and the second is the same exact piece minus the pin loop. To assemble the pieces, fold and glue the pin loop onto the area shown on the pattern. Then cut the slit for the notebook and glue the edges of the front panel to the back panel. If you want to reduce bulk, skive the edge of the pin loop before gluing it. Now back to the medium-sized one. It simply gets folded in half and that creates the pin loop at the top. But before I fold or glue anything, I need to punch the holes and cut the slit for the notebook. I also beveled and burnished the pin loop because it'll be easier to do now while it's flat. If you need to sand any of those inside corners, I'd recommend sanding those right now as well while it's flat. I'm burnishing this with Tokonole because it should give me slightly more shine than gum trag, and I'm going for a fancy look. I like to start with a wood slicker and finish with a canvas cloth. More on that later. You can also bevel the edges of the slit, which will help the notepad slide in and out a little bit easier, I think. With that done, apply glue to all the outer edges of the top and bottom. Be careful about over gluing because that can close up the opening and make it hard to take the pad in and out. Even if you separate the overglued areas after sewing, it still creates a more grippy surface. When I'm attaching the two sides, I focus most on the two rounded curves at the top around the pin loop. I want those to line up perfectly so I don't have to do as much sanding. I'd rather be slightly off at the bottom since that's flat and square, easy to fix. Trim and sand as needed until those layers are flush. The burnishing machine does this in no time, but the sanding stick works too. Speaking of machines, this can be hand or machine sewn. And the stitch marks you see on the pattern will line up perfectly with our 3mm diamond chisel set. I used those stitch lines on the pattern to set my wing dividers and scored a line around all 3 of the sides. You'll need to connect the lines at the top using a ruler since the pin loop will be in your way. I'm sewing this on the leatherwork machine using a size 19 twist point needle and Tex 90 thread. This is my current favorite needle and thread combination, and with a stitch length of about 3.5 to 4mm, I think it looks pretty sharp. So back to my reasoning for this project. Hopefully if you've made it this far in the video, you're already sold on the concept, but I'll explain it anyways. Since this legal pad holder doesn't functionally do much, in reality the only problems I'm solving are these. I want an excuse to make something cool, and these things are kind of ugly by themselves. And maybe it's just me, but going from this to this makes whatever I'm writing or sketching feel maybe 5% more important. And I think that's worth it. And I just find it more enjoyable. Plus, who doesn't want to look like a Fortune 500 CEO when you're writing down your grocery list? I think a lot of fun of leatherwork is taking everyday things and finding creative ways to implement your craft into them so that they look better, are unique to you, and have a high level of customization that you can't just find anywhere. What are the odds that some notepad holder right off the shelf will fit my favorite pen this perfectly? That alone is worth an hour or 2 of work. Speaking of time, this is a really quick project if you've got a sewing machine. Now all that's left are some finishing touches. I beveled the edges with a size 00 Berry Kinged edger and burnished all the remaining edges with the same technique as earlier. Whatever your burnishing technique, it should look great if you're using these 3 ingredients: quality veg tan leather, well sanded layers that sit flush, and a beveler that gives you a consistent corner profile. I like filling the leather with my finger through the canvas and kind of blending that burnished edge onto the surface of the leather. Finish by separating any overglued areas so that the legal pad will slide in smoothly. You don't have to have a special tool to do this, just make sure it's not something that's so sharp that you risk cutting the stitches. Now you can finally slide in a fresh notebook and begin writing with the confidence that you look a little more fancy than you did before. And since this doesn't have any moving parts, and it will probably sit in the same place on your desk forever, it should last decades. I'll say this and then I'll stop yapping about my leather philosophy. I think it's worth it to make more of these mostly useless things because they make the small parts of your day just a little bit more enjoyable for years to come. And I think that's special. I hope you enjoyed this project, and don't forget this is a free pattern you can download using the first link in the description. Also like the video and subscribe to the channel to show us that you like these free pattern videos. I'll also link all the leather and tools that I used today in the description below if you want to pick up anything you saw me use. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.